Welcome to the Dr. Diane Show, where we explore revolutionary expansion of mind, body, and soul with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. With over 20 years of expertise as a mindset warrior, perspective shifter, and unshakable optimist, I am dedicated to helping you reach your wildest dreams in business, health, performance, and relationships. Learn about the power of thought and how it shapes your life to take risks, change careers, find love, go on adventures, and live passionately with me, Dr. Diane. Get ready for revolutionary ways of thinking, being, and creating an amazing life. The Dr. Diane Show starts now. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Diane Hayden, and you are listening to the Dr. Diane Show on Transformation Talk Radio. Stay with us for the next hour, where we will explore revolutionary expansion of mind, body, and soul. Join me on the first and third Thursdays on the show, where I have experts from around the country teaching you cutting-edge therapies on longevity medicine, natural health, mindset, and soul purpose to help you shift your perspective and become a mindset warrior like me. And please like and subscribe to my channel, Dr. Diane Hayden. I'm excited today to have Jocelyn Karp on my show. She is the founder of Blue Monarch Healing, LLC, which is a holistic healing practice based in Berlin, Connecticut, where she serves as a Reiki Master Teacher. She helps people reconnect with themselves through compassionate, heart-centered healing that blends traditional Reiki with intuitive guidance in a grounded, supportive environment. With advanced training in Yusa Reiki, Holy Fire, 3 Reiki, Karuna Reiki, World Peace Reiki, Symphony of the Cells, and Lightarian Reiki, Jocelyn curates personalized healing experiences that support relaxation, nervous system regulation, emotional well-being, and spiritual connection. In addition to working one-on-one with clients, she teaches Reiki to individuals who feel called to deepen their own healing journey or share their practice with others. Every session and every Reiki training is thoughtfully tailored to meet each client where they are, recognizing that no two healing journeys are ever the same. So welcome, Jocelyn. How are you today?
Wow. Thank you for that introduction. Listening to all of that reminds me of how much growth that I've gone through in a couple of years, and listening to it again, it really just is so. The healing roller coaster is a wild place to be on, and once you start, it's the Disney Speed Pass straight through.
Yeah.
There is just no getting off. But I'm so grateful for this journey, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm just so incredibly grateful, Diane, for this opportunity to be with you today and talk a little bit about how Reiki found me, and a little bit more about Blue Monarch Healing and why I have opened this business to support other people. So thank you again for having me.
Oh, awesome. Of course, of course. Yeah, and I'm glad you actually took a minute to let that sink in and appreciate it, because so many times we don't think about all the accomplishments that we've made until we actually hear
Yeah.
somebody introduce us or read our
Yeah.
bio or that kind of thing. We're like, it's just the day to day, I don't know, did I do anything really great this week or this year or whatever? But yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, let's talk about how Reiki found you. And actually, we're going to go into more detail about what that is, because there might be some listeners on the call that have not maybe heard of Reiki. I think it's more common now, but really aren't quite sure what it is. But how did Reiki find you?
I feel it's a great story, and it found me at exactly when I needed it most. Back in 2021, May 1st, actually, I lost my father-in-law very unexpectedly. It was very hard on my husband and his family. Within, I'd say, 2.5, 3 weeks, I lost my grandmother on my dad's side. And then towards the end of that year, we had lost our cat, Stewie, who was, my soul cat. And he was a big part of the family, had been with us for about 15 years. And unfortunately, we had to put him to sleep before Christmas. And that was tough. So how this came to be was, I've always been intuitive. I was really struggling with how to make sense of losing so many people in my life that were so important in such a short time frame,
Right.
and trying to make sense of what is happening with the soul, and how to really step forward, because I was really stuck in a lot of grief. And I'll be honest with you, all three of the deaths they impacted me in different ways. And Stewie coming at the tail end of the year really, really crushed me. I didn't realize how much support he gave to the family and how much love and how much we relied on him. So, probably about February of 2022, my husband and I were invited to a wedding. It was a very fancy occasion, black tie. And coming out of COVID, I had let my hair grow long. I had zero ideas on how to style long hair because I used to have a short haircut.
Mhm.
And there was, they've moved locations since, but there was a wellness spa and salon in my town. So I reached out and I said, "Do you do hair and makeup?" And they said, "Absolutely." And I said, "Can you take me this week? Because this is very last minute. I wasn't thinking I was going to do it, but then I realized I didn't have enough confidence to do my hair." So I went to the salon. I spent a good couple of hours there, and the woman who did my makeup was one of the owners. And we got to talking about our family, and that included pets. And ironically, she had a dog named Stevie, and I had my cat Stewie. And we're like, what are the chances?
Yeah.
So she said, after, sharing how I was feeling and sharing that a piece of my heart was just like lost forever because of Stewie, and also my father-in-law and my grandmother, she said, "Why don't you come in and try Reiki?" Reiki is something that they offer at their salon. And I said, "I don't even know what it is." And she said, "Well, I help people move through a lot of things, but one of those things is grief, especially after great loss." And I thought, wow, okay, I don't know what to expect, but sure, let's give it a try.
Mhm.
So, it was around that time that I had started having my first couple of Reiki sessions, and I was so surprised at um, how I felt during the session and how I felt after. Also surprised at how much I cried, because I didn't realize how much emotion that I was holding in from what I
Yeah.
experienced in the last 6 months of the year. And also a couple months later, so now we're nearing towards April of 2022. We're nearing about a year after my father-in-law had passed away. And Reverend Jennifer Shackford of Faith and Angels came as a recommendation to me. And someone said, "Why don't you go see Jen? And why don't you see if you can't bring a message from your father-in-law back to your family?" And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm open to it. I have no idea. I've never done this before. And I went to the session, and I expected to hear messages from loved ones in spirit, which I did, but only in the last 10 minutes. The session became about me
Mm.
and my journey. And Jen shared with me in that moment that Reiki is something that is supposed to be part of my life. And I didn't quite believe her in that moment. She said, "Yes, you're meant to have a Reiki business." And I'm like, "I just met
What?
you."
Yeah. You're like, I just went to this hair salon and experienced it. Now I'm running a business.
Exactly. I'm like, "I don't know what is going on, but okay." And then she said, "Well, you know what? I'm also meant to teach you, and I have a mentorship program. So if you're open to it, we can start next week." And it was
Wow.
very matter of fact. She gave me, like, it was very cut and dry, and she was just like, "Let me know that you're good, but we're going to start here." And I went home and I was nervous. I'm like, "Oh, I've never done this
Mhm.
before." But I ended up entering into a mentorship. It changed my life. And that's when I started to learn more about Reiki, because Jen taught me Usui Shiki Roiho levels 1 and level 2. Fast forward, I had decided to go on a trip to Costa Rica about a year later. I am a yogi, and one of my good yogi friends, we met at a sushi restaurant in Glastonbury, and she's chatting, and she said, "You'll never guess what I did." I go, "What did you do?" She goes, "I'm going on a trip, and I'm leaving my husband at home, and he's got the girls." And she's telling me about Costa Rica, and I thought, wow, I got to go on this trip. And I made that decision in the moment. So I go on the trip. couple people knew that I was kind of entering in a spiritual awakening. They knew I was Reiki 1 and 2 attuned. I came carting my crystals, not sure how I was going to use them, but I came along. I brought my journal. And, I don't know, have you ever been to Costa Rica?
I haven't actually. It's on my list.
Oh, you have to go. It is a
Yeah.
beautiful country. But the energy in Costa Rica, it's a very high frequency. They're very spiritual people. I mean, like the evil eye is everywhere, right?
Mhm.
And we were there to do yoga and experience the country. So one night, the yoga instructor decided to do a yoga nidra, which is yogic sleep. It's a guided meditation rather than all of the other stretching and everything that would go on with the flow. And we had done that because we had spent the day kind of navigating through the jungle and we were all very tired. And when I meditate, I like to sit and meditate versus lay on the floor. So I've got my position on the couch and everyone's holding on to my crystals because I passed them out and I've got my oils and we're just ready to like hop into the meditation. And I'm sitting there and I couldn't get settled. Like, Diane, it was somebody in my brain saying, get up and do Reiki, get up and do Reiki, do it, do it, do it, try. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
So I stood up, I looked at Dana, the yoga instructor. I kind of gave her a nod. She gave me a nod. It was kind of like we were talking without words.
Right.
And in that moment, I gave everyone in the room, it was like group Reiki.
Yeah.
Everyone had a certain amount of time. I was trusting my intuition. I was kind of working my way around different parts of the body. And we finish and everybody's kind of coming to and everyone's kind of all zenned out. And they're like, wow, I saw colors. I felt things. Were you touching me? I swear you were at my feet, but I felt you at my shoulder. What is going on? And then somebody turned around because this was the most amazing thing. We're in a room full of windows, Diane. And this only happened this one time while we were there, and we were there for a week. This one window had 30 green geckos suction cupped to the window.
They wanted Reiki.
They wanted Reiki and they felt the energy because we were in the jungle. And in that moment, we were all so shocked that the energy in the room could be felt by animals outside. I was like, wow, this
Oh
is
my
very
God.
cool.
I'm going to have to stop at the cliffhanger because we have to take a break. But this is perfect because we are coming back to talk more about this. You're listening to the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. When we come back, we'll explore more with Jocelyn Karp, founder of Blue Monarch Healing. On the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. Before we continue, I want to make sure everyone knows how to contact me. You can find me at www.drdianehayden.com or at either of my two publications, www.naturalnutmeg.com and www.essentialnaples.com. And you can learn more about my guest today, Jocelyn Karp, at her website, which is www.bluemonarchhealing.com, and that is spelled BlueMonarchHealing.com. So, wow, what a cliffhanger.
I
So
know,
we
right?
had to go to break and everyone's waiting to find out, like, what did the geckos do?
They hung out in the space for like the next 15 minutes to a half an hour, and then they disappeared, and we never saw the phenomenon again. The
Wow.
next morning, the travel group that I do travel with is Twisted Dog Yoga in Colchester, and the owner Tracy approached me and said, Joss, what happened last night? That was amazing. I'm like, I don't know. We're magic. We raised the vibration. The animals are intuitive. They felt it. They wanted some Reiki. They hopped on. And she said, I think that there's something here for you. So think about when we go back to Connecticut, would you want to come and do some workshops? And I was so like tickled. And I'm like, who, me? Like, you want me, like this girl right here, to come to your place of business and
Well,
and do
yeah,
some
you just
work.
called all the geckos out of the forest. I
I
mean, come
know.
on.
I couldn't believe it. So when I came back, I had my mentor meeting with Jen and I explained what I just shared with you. And she said, Jess, you know what? Let's do it. She taught me levels 3A and 3B at the same time. And that was in June. And by July of 2024, I took the leap and opened an LLC. And I haven't really looked back. I just, it's, all systems go, riding
Mhm.
this fun roller coaster and trusting that I have been placed exactly where I need to be. And everything is just happening so organically. It's been a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Cool.
Very surprising. Things that I never thought were going to be happening. Like, I never thought I would be doing this. And here I am spending time with you. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and I think it's so fascinating to kind of see people's journeys when they're called to do something like this, and it
Yeah.
usually just happens so effortlessly, like what it
Yes.
sounds like it's happened for you, and that's how you know that you're on the right path. I feel like,
It's
like
exactly right.
yeah, yeah. So for let's kind of just back up a bit. Like for people who have never experienced Reiki or have never maybe never even heard of the term, it's an type of energy work. So how would you explain that to somebody about what it is, what's happening when you have a Reiki session, and kind of how you
Mhm.
work?
So, Reiki is a Japanese form of stress reduction and relaxation that also promotes healing, but also supports you and your overall well being, both physically. It's more than just both. It's physical, it's mental, it's emotional, and spiritual. Um, when you go throughout your day, in Reiki, we believe that the universal life force of energy is constantly flowing in and around you. And when you have stress or trauma, that said stress or trauma will imprint on your cells, tissues, and organs and create blockages in your energy center, so your chakras. And when we talk in this conversation, we're going to talk in terms of the seven main chakras, but the body in reality has like over 100 chakras. But what most people understand are, the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root. Nobody thinks that, to understand that you could have, chakras on the back of your head or maybe in your ears. So when you have these stressful encounters, it causes your energy centers to either become off balance or become blocked. And the practitioner, in this case, me, I serve as a channel or an instrument, as I like to say, of love and healing, where I will pull the universal life force of energy through my body and place it into yours where your body is guiding me, to help you release the blockages, help to provide balance in your body. It's a it's very relaxing. This isn't something that causes pain. This is a lot of people actually just feel like their body is exhaling in this moment because we operate in this crazy fight and flight mode. We're moving, we're busy, we're on so much technology, we're being inundated, and nobody's bodies know how to like regulate themselves anymore. And so we're constantly walking around feeling exhausted and burned out and triggered, and we don't know how to deal with all of these like things coming at us. And we need to have a Reiki practitioner help to free some of this so that you can leave and feel like you're in a better mindset, you're in a better headspace, you're feeling more peaceful, you're feeling less triggered, you feel like you have space again. The clutter has been taken down a notch, that voice. So that's my 30-second, could be more like a 60-second elevator pitch. So
Yeah, so basically when someone comes for a session, they're laying on a table, right? Or I guess they could
yeah,
even be seated, or I mean, you could do it any number of ways, but
absolutely.
traditionally, probably laying down, right? Do you practice a a form where you actually have hands on, or you're not touching the person?
So I am a hands-on practitioner, and if you were coming to see me for the first time, whether it be for a 60-minute session or a 90-minute session, even before I get to the whole conversation about like I'm a hands-on practitioner, I actually like to talk to people first and just spend a couple minutes like actively listening to them and what they're saying to me, as well as looking at their body language. Tells me a lot about people and where they are, so that I know how to better support them. And it also gives them a chance to start to come down a notch because when you come in for Reiki, you're likely fighting traffic. You may have had a contentious conversation with a colleague. You might have been discussing who's making dinner, what is the dinner, what time you're going to be home, who's putting the kids down, the dog needs to go out, and you have to water the plants. Like there's so many other things.
Yep.
And so giving people that opportunity to kind of, and then, you know, say, after we kind of talk about, where they're at in that moment, saying, I am a hands-on practitioner, and then showing a person that could mean touching your head, or that could mean touching your high heart. Is it okay if I touch here? I want to create a safe experience, a safe environment for people. And so it's very important to me to explain what I'm going to be doing in this session so that person feels safe and that they can come in and just fully allow themselves to release. Um, the other thing that I would say that really helps, and it's kind of like my secret sauce, and if anybody's listening who's a Reiki practitioner and you want to try it, I welcome you to do it. Because I'm a yogi, I love to do body scans. And so another element that I add to my practice before, well, I'm starting Reiki in this process as well, as I do a body scan where we start at the toes and we're working through every body part because again, we operate in fight and flight. And so my whole goal is to help you come out of fight and flight, activate your parasympathetic nervous system, and allow your body to do what it does best. And that is heal itself naturally. So we've had the hands-on conversation. I've listened to where you are. I'm taking you through the body scan. The process is the same, Diane, but in terms of like script per se, pace, it's all different, and it's going to be different every single time because you're going to be coming in a different place.
Right.
Could be a different headspace. And then I let Reiki do what it's going to do. And at the end of our session, I'll share my insights. You can share your insights. And if you're a first time client, I do like to reach out the next day and just see how you slept, how you're feeling, were you emotional? And if there's other things that have come up, I'll reach out and we'll make some time to continue to talk and work through what those emotions and or feelings could have come about as your body is integrating now all of this new freely moving energy in your body.
Hmm. Now,
Yeah.
it also can be practiced virtually. I mean, I don't know whether you do that as well, but I mean, obviously, energy is everywhere, right? So people can
Yes.
receive or practice Reiki from
Yep.
a distance too.
Yep. Yep. I do practice distance healing. Believe it or not, I do more distance healing for animals than I do people. Most of my clients really like to come in and spend time with me, and we talk about whatever it is that we're talking about. But um, in general, animals or people can have distance healing. It is just as effective as coming in to see me. Um, but for animals, it really helps them where I'm not, I'm a stranger
Right.
and I'm entering their home. And if a cat or a dog or your aquarium fish or your bird is already like anxious and stressed, well, that's
Hmm.
just going to help not, that's going to make the experience not be a positive one for either me, mom and dad, or the animal. So oftentimes I do offer distance healing for the animals just so that they can get to know my energy in advance. And I often find that they prefer it that way. And I'm able to get more insights to share with mom and dad. And then we typically do additional follow ups every 3 to 4 weeks based on what the animal tells me it needs to help whatever the situation might be.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you in relation to humans, like how often would you recommend somebody get Reiki?
So I'd say I myself go every 4 weeks as a practitioner who's working in people's energy all the time. I also work a full-time job in addition to running Blue Monarch. I need it every 4 to 6 weeks. So my general rule of thumb, 4 to 6 weeks, depending on when you start to notice that you're not maybe feeling as great about things, that typically is that 3.5 week mark,
Yep.
then it's probably time and you should probably come at 4 weeks. But some people are good with 6. If you're dealing with an issue, if we're going through like grief, or if you have a health condition, we might change that to be to every 2 weeks. It just
Mhm.
really depends. But a lot of the time I leave it to the client to determine that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's individualized, of course. So for
Yes.
whatever people need, with whatever their needs are, whatever they're going through, if there's a health issue, or like you said, if there's grief, or if there's any kind of like more acute thing that they're going through, then you would
Hmm.
want them to come more for sure. So this is so fascinating. We're going to learn a lot more. You're listening to the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking more with Jocelyn Karp. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're back on the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. I am talking today with Jocelyn Karp, and her website is www.bluemonarchhealing.com. That's spelled BlueMonarchHealing.com. So we were talking about just all the different, types of issues that Reiki is great for, that you see people for. I mean, it really runs the gamut of just about it, anything and everything that people
Hmm.
could get help with by using Reiki. But what are some of like misconceptions that people have about it? Like, what have you heard, or what kind of myths or things like that have you had to work through with people about what they think it is or isn't?
Oh, there is always a few people that come in. They're definitely curious, but I feel like they're mythbusters. So they come
Oh yeah,
in
like this
and
doesn't really work. This is all woo
yes.
woo.
And so they'll have like a chakra clearing, or they'll want like a 1 hour session, and they'll get off the table and they'll be like, "So did it work?" And I'll be like, "Really?"
Yeah, I
Of
don't
course it
know. You tell
worked.
me.
Of
Yeah.
course it worked. So people, you know, everybody nowadays is expecting something immediate, right? We have
Oh
all
God,
this
yeah.
technology, everything
Yep.
is coming at our fingertips. We want it now, now, now. And I feel that this is the same kind of an example where you come in and you just immediately expect to be healed, or you immediately expect to have like something happen to you, like physical. People need physical evidence. And Reiki is sometimes subtle.
Mhm.
Sometimes, and I say this to a lot of people, no matter what you experience, and I'll share some of what people do experience in a second, but no matter what you experience in that moment, it is what you were meant to experience. Um, and even if you didn't feel anything, it might be because in this moment your body wasn't quite ready. It might need a couple of days to kind of process and catch up before you might start to notice like subtle changes. So be patient and just give it some time. Um,
Well, also, people are so disconnected from their body. I mean, I wouldn't.
Very
It's not surprising at all that people don't feel anything
right.
in our society in this day and age, that kind of thing, because everybody is living like from here up. Like we're
Here up.
completely not in tune with what our body is telling us or what we're feeling or whatnot, which makes it even harder in this case for you to I guess just educate people about what it
Right.
is, because
And
like you said,
that's exactly
they're expecting something immediate, and they're also expecting to feel something right away.
right. That's exactly it. And half the time, most of the people that are running around here, and I've been at fault for this too, we ignore things, right? that pain in the elbow that's been flaring here and there, and we're just, oh, it'll go away. I'll just take some Advil. Well, it's just getting worse. And next thing you know, you're in PT for tennis elbow. People need to understand that the body is talking to us all the time. You just have to take a moment and create a space where you can listen to what it's telling you. I always also say that Reiki is not a one and done. So when people come in for the first time, if they didn't experience something, or if they did, I just remind them that this is a process, and you're not going to just magically be over whatever it is that is preventing you from stepping forward in one session. It could take like 3 sessions. It could take a year. But there's also some accountability that goes along with coming to Reiki, right? You have to be working on making yourself be in a better place too. You can't just come in and expect that one Reiki session is just going to like solve the problem. In terms of like what people actually experience, it is all over the board. A lot of my clients actually come and fall asleep because, again, everyone is operating this wild life, and I create this space for them to feel totally safe. And a lot of them do come in and they take naps, and then I just do the work.
Right. Yeah.
And
No, that's how relaxing it is. That's happened to me a
that's
couple times. Yeah.
yeah, and that's the biggest compliment. And I don't judge with snoring and mouth noises. So just putting that out there. But people can see when their body relaxes. You can see colors. You can see like a beautiful light show, the aurora borealis. You might start to hear messages about, I don't know, giving you guidance, like drink more water.
Mhm.
Or you might feel your energy rise and fall. You might feel the energy coming through my hands. My hands sometimes get really hot. They're like heating pads. Other times you can feel the pulsation. Sometimes it could feel like your leg and your arm is like 1,000 pounds and being weighed down. I mean, and then there's times when you don't feel anything at all. And in that moment, you're just in this really peaceful, relaxing state. Your body knows what to do. You just have to be open and willing to allow yourself to take that moment and journey inward and just relax and listen to it. It's
And get out
really
of
a
the way.
beautiful and get out of the
I tell
way,
people,
right?
yeah, you just need
Take
to
the
get out of the
ego
way.
off, peel it off, push it over there.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's beautiful. I really love listening to everyone's different reactions to things. And it's interesting talking about not always having a physical reaction. There are clients that I have who have been with me for 2 years or longer that I've been practicing. And sometimes their sessions aren't very eventful. It doesn't mean it doesn't work. They got what they needed in that moment. And I'll get a text message a couple days later, and I'm still feeling very clear in the mind, and I'm feeling less triggered, and I'm feeling peaceful. This is exactly what I needed. So Reiki, here's the thing. Here's a great example. You believe, we have Wi-Fi, right? Well, you can't see it,
Of course.
but we know it's working,
Yeah,
right?
but we believe that, no problem. It's amazing when we believe that we can't see, and then we don't believe
Right.
other things because we can't see them. Yep.
Exactly. Well, Reiki's kind of the same thing. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not working.
Yeah.
So,
No, 100%. So
yeah.
you had mentioned some things, that experiences that you had with certain clients. I mean, anonymously, obviously. Was that something you wanted to talk about, or?
No, if you had specific questions, but every client experience is confidential.
Right.
If I share anything on social media, it's really just the client's feedback as to how they felt after a session, or how they feel that the session has moved them forward. But everything that happens in my Reiki room stays in my Reiki room, a little bit like Vegas. But I do get insights in the session that I do share with my clients, and I keep a wonderful notebook system and note system on my computer so that anytime we can circle back and just look at patterns and trends over time. I'm a scientific person and I like to see patterns and trends. And I also like to see healing arcs and I like to see, where we started and where we are. So that has been really helpful for some of my long-term clients just to be able to do like a full year view and see where we were at the start of the year versus 6 months versus where we are now. And it's really helpful for that individual to be able to see the marked change and growth and also, figure out like where they want to go from that point on. It's just such a beautiful thing to watch a person go through such significant change and then be able to have it documented and be able to show them like, look at all this great work you've done, you know?
Yeah. 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 Wow. I don't know that I've ever spoken to someone who, um, like a Reiki master that has that kind of philosophical like outlook on it, like the very scientific documentation, all of that that you do. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Um, what do you hope every client walks away from? Like what every client walks away feeling after a session?
Oh, well, I definitely want them to feel lighter. I want them to feel like their body has definitely released and they had the opportunity to exhale. Um, you know, my goal is again over time and with them taking also accountability into their journey that they will start to feel happier longer. They will be more joyful. They will be less triggered by conversations, experiences, and they'll be able to have different approaches and strategies in place to help them be more successful in navigating life and just the everyday stuff that we are all confronted with, whether it be traffic and erratic drivers, because the driving lately seems to be a bit more wild than
Yep.
it has lately, like in the previous couple of months. I don't know if that's the energy that we have in the air right now contributing to that, but or just conversations with colleagues and how they choose to you know live authentically in their day-to-day life. The whole goal is to be joyful and happy, feel at peace, feel calm, feel like and they also feel supported and that they have a place to go, my healing room, that they know that they can come anytime and that they can take that nap, they can feel like they're being heard. um, I give great hugs. So if you need a hug, I'm a hugger and I
Awesome.
always have endless amounts of hugs and they're free. So if that's what you need in that moment, I let my clients know that I'm available for that too. So a little bit of everything with that question, Diane.
Yeah. Well, obviously you come across as just, like this was what you were meant to do and, so, genuine and sincere and caring about everything that you do for your clients. I can imagine like when they walk into your space, it's just like immediate relaxation and, they get this amazing healing energy and then they leave with a hug.
Always. I
Yeah.
do. I really try to create that space. My there's a lot of people offering Reiki and I try to curate an experience
Hmm.
for every single person, and it's not one size fits all.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
And I think
I
that's super important. I want to touch on that. We're going to go to a quick break, but when we come back, you just hit on something that I've been talking about a lot lately in terms of
absolutely.
giving experience. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking more with Jocelyn Karp. We're back on the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. You can learn more about me at www.drdianehayden.com. And my guest today is Jocelyn Karp, and her website is www.bluemonarchhealing.com. That's spelled BLUEMONARCHHEALING.com. So before we left, you said
Yeah.
the magic word that I've been talking to all my holistic practitioners about lately, and that is experience. It's
Yeah.
what is the experience you give to your clients when they walk through the door, when they have a session with you,
Yeah.
when they leave, in between, that kind of thing. And I love, how you explained that and how you're different, because I feel like there's a lot of practitioners around that people can choose from. And so why are they going to choose you? What are those little things that you do that make
Yeah.
someone connect with you?
Yeah. Well, so when I was trying to think about Blue Monarch Healing and the feeling that I wanted my business name to evoke, um, or what my brand was like, and thinking about how I articulate on even social media or on my website, like what does make me different. And I would say that I really spend a lot of time actively listening to people. And I really try to curate an experience for every single person. And that is true of my existing customers that, continue to come and see me month after month. I I believe healing is not one size fits all. What works for me is not going to work for you. And it's important to me to be able to have as many tools in my toolkit to be able to offer in a session. So, what does that mean, Diane? So, I began my journey learning traditional Japanese Reiki, Usui Shiki Roiho, right? About a couple months after becoming an LLC, I had heard about Holy Fire, Karuna, and World Peace Reiki, and I found a teacher who was offering that local in my community, and I just knew that that was going to be something that I needed to learn to be able to have another tool in my toolkit to be able to offer my clients. And the same goes with some of the other lineages that I've learned. By having so many, well, because I practice Usui, Holy Fire, the Karuna, the World Peace. I'm an aroma Reiki practitioner. I'm a Lightarian practitioner as well. I can rely on different, I'm going to call them healing frequencies and different healing symbols, and I use them in very specific ways depending on what my client is trying to achieve. So again, customizing the experience, we're looking at what is your intention for the practice. What are you hoping to get out of the session today? What are we looking to do long term, right? And then based on where they are in their headspace and kind of how they're feeling physically, I'm already got the wheels turning, and we go into your session and I'm already feeling out your energy and your body's already telling me different things. I might incorporate plants because I love plant Reiki, and I utilize the healing frequencies of plants by placing, like, for example, an air plant on the body to help circulate the air in that particular area. I might use oils on the body in specific places because oils are, nature's medicine. They're very potent. And in 22 seconds, as they absorb into the skin, they're already helping cells and tissues push out any toxins that are in the cells. So that is helping you by also, preparing the body to get ready for Reiki. Um, if you're looking for healing a relationship, um, perhaps, there's just a personal dilemma that's happening in your life and you're having a hard time really kind of bringing yourself and this person or event into a good space of healing. We can send Reiki to that. And I will utilize Karuna symbols that align to healing deeply in relationships in that moment and sending that person involved, love and healing. And so basically, I offer quite a bit in terms of what we can do in a session. And it really all comes back to curating this experience that meets you where you are. But I have a lot of different tools to bring in to support whatever it is that you're looking to heal.
Yes, so I'm glad you brought up all the individual modalities because that was a question I had. Like, how would someone know, or they don't need to know,
They
essentially,
don't.
yeah, which what I'm coming to you for? You're gonna make that decision based on your intuitive evaluation of the body and what the person is telling you and that kind of thing.
Yes. So it's
Yeah. Okay.
twofold. It's me with my background and my education and understanding how the different healing frequencies work, understanding how the body works and how emotions and feelings work, but also your body knows what it needs. And it can, without even telling me, but it often does, it's pulling the energy, it pulls what it needs all on its own. So you're getting what you need in that moment 100% every time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So, if someone has been curious about Reiki but hasn't taken the first step, what would you say to them?
Lean into curiosity. Be curious. Come in, drop all your expectations. Um, your first time with Reiki, your intention could simply be just to experience relaxation. And maybe you come in and take a nap. And if that's what it is, that's perfect. You don't have to come into Reiki and like, we don't need to boil the ocean in your first session, right?
Right.
Like, it doesn't have to be difficult. Reiki is not hard. It meets you where you are. You get what you need. You get it in the right amount. The whole goal is that you're giving yourself love. You're showing yourself a break. You're creating the space to create quiet so that you can reconnect. You can become grounded. You can, again, reconnect to your inner wisdom. Your clarity is opening. You're being able to trust the nudges that you feel in your belly, and you're just letting go of the noise and the chatter and giving your brain a break. A brain break is so incredible to have these days because, again, we are being constantly bombarded with so much all the time. The rate at which we process, I'm pretty sure, is not the intention, or it's not really the intention, but we're not meant to
We're not right.
process
We're not
all
built
of
for
this
it.
and so consistently for so long.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Technology is amazing, but at the same time, if you don't manage it
yeah.
effectively, it's detrimental too, just because we're energetic beings. Like, we're not meant to
Yep.
be on these devices all the time in front of screens and all that kind of stuff. And I've done Reiki many times, and I have to say, to me, it's got to be the easiest modality to try if you want to try something and you're curious, because you
Yeah.
literally don't have to do anything. Like, it's
Right.
not like you don't have to do anything with acupuncture either, but with that, some people have a little bit of fear about the needle or whatever,
Right.
or sometimes massage, as relaxing as it can be, could be a little painful
Yeah.
because we're trying to work stuff out of the body, that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
energy work is just so peaceful and beautiful and easy, and
Yeah.
literally, like, just
Reiki's
time.
good for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm like the PSA. If I could like just say it and had, everyone's ear for like a few minutes, I'd be like, do Reiki, do Reiki, do Reiki, try Reiki. It's so good for you. You'll feel better. You're just going to sleep better. You're going to
Yeah.
feel happier. Like, try Reiki. Be curious. You have
Yeah.
nothing to lose, only
Yeah.
good things.
No, that is exactly it. And nowadays, and everybody is so stressed out, and nervous
Yeah.
system dysregulation, and people aren't sleeping well, and all of that. I mean, just that hour or so on the table with you is amazing for
Yeah.
what it can do in that short amount of time, especially
Absolutely.
if you're anxious or you're not sleeping well or you have a lot of more stress than what we normally have, like that kind of thing. It's just really an amazing modality that everybody should be doing it all the time, honestly.
That's right.
So I second your PSA. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's been so awesome to get to know you and learn more about it, and educate people about this beautiful healing modality. And I love what you do, and I'm so glad that you, like, you heard the message and you went for it.
I was called, and I absolutely love being in service. this is definitely my path. And I look forward to continuing to do this until I can't stand, or maybe I'm just wheeling around a little massage table,
Yeah,
still giving Reiki when I'm like 85.
right.
But
Oh, that'll be awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is this it's great to know finally what my purpose is, because for a long time I was very unsure, and I just couldn't be more grateful for how this all has transpired. Again, healing roller coaster, Disney Speed Pass,
Yep.
super grateful. I have some really great teachers that I've mentioned, and I wouldn't change a thing about it. So,
Awesome. Well,
yeah.
thank you for doing that and all your service, and thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate
Yeah, it
you.
was great. It was great. And I want to thank all of you for tuning into the show. Please join me the first and third Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Next time I will see you back here. Please like and subscribe to my channel, Dr. Diane Hayden. Thank you for tuning into the Dr. Diane Show, revolutionary expansion of mind, body, and soul with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. Tune in every Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on transformationtalkradio.com. Center your thoughts on what you want and shut the door on every suggestion of fear, worry, or lack from your own consciousness or the consciousness around you. Once you master that, everything is possible. To learn more about me, Dr. Diane, and receive a free digital subscription of my magazine, visit naturalnutmeg.com.